Welcome to the final part of I read whatever nonsense people are allowed to write. Some of it, true. Some of it, false. Some of it, why did you write that? And most of it is pretty interesting, actually. So, chat, because I know how much you loved it, here's what I'm gonna do. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 categories left to do. Not doing Seiho. Every time that I finish a category, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do 10 squats, and I'm gonna do 10 crunches. Alright? So, that's 100 total over the course of the stream. Or at least I'm going to try. I don't know if that's gonna work. But we'll see. So there will be moments where a streamer disappears from the microphone. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. So let's get it. 10 desires. Divine Spirit. Due to the appearance of the first stage mid-boss of 10 Desires, some Western fans call the mid-boss the Nameless Mid-Boss Divine Spirit, following the naming pattern of PC98 mid-bosses such as the Nameless Mid-Boss Angel and the Nameless Mid-Boss Yokai. The mid-boss has been noted by many to be the most notable mid-boss in the whole series without a name, since it's the first stage mid-boss of 10 Desires, which itself is a popular Windows game. So who wrote that? Because that is complete fucking drivel. The mid-boss has been noted by many to be the most notable mid-boss in the whole series without a name. You know, Daiose and Kwakama don't have real names, right? Since it's the first stage mid-boss of 10 Desires, which itself is a popular Windows game. Who wrote this? Who wrote this, dude? Oh my, we're starting strong. Kyoko. Because of her ears portraying her as a canine with the addition of a tail and other dog-like attributes is common, the tail has become canon, and she is described as having one in Symposium of Post-Mysticism. This is despite the fact that a Yamabiko isn't a dog. This has caused her to be somewhat sometimes paired with Momiji Inabashi, another dog-ish yokai wolf tango to be exact. Wait. So what does a Yamabiko even look like? Are you telling me that a Yamabiko doesn't look like a dog? Because Kyoko is definitely a dog. She is maximum puppy. That's crazy. She's sometimes paired with Yoshika Miyako due to both of them appearing in the demo version. What kind of fucking reason is that? I mean, it's the reason that many characters use, actually, streamer. But has anyone actually seen those two characters together? Though this became less common after the full version of 10 Desires was released, and once again her relationship with Misty Lorelei was established. And again once her... Okay. Okay, so that must have been old shit. Old shit. Can I click that Wikipedia article? Is that safe? Will I get in trouble? I'm gonna click it. I mean... Well, yeah. I guess. It's not a dog. I don't know how you would describe this animal, to be honest with you. How the fuck do you describe this thing? It's kind of like a freak. I don't know, man. Where was I? A common gag is for characters to shout something crude while Kyoko's about, so that she'll be forced to repeat it. Sometimes Kyoko will even claim it's why she gave up on her old job as an echo. I've never seen that. Byakuren Hiji is usually shown to be a motherly figure to her, often petting her head while she rests on Byakuren's lap. I've never seen that either. She's sometimes shown with Kogasi Tatara being the types who like to surprise people and in modern yokai moes. I've never seen that either! She's sometimes associated with Kyoko Otonashi from Meison Ikoku, since they share the exact given name, Kyoko, and are often depicted holding bamboo brooms. I don't know who that is! Chat. Does anyone else feel like that this entire bit on Kyoko was written 12 years ago and never updated? Anyone else feel like that? This is like encapsulating exactly 1 year of time of Kyoko's existence, and then nothing was ever written for her again. Yoshika Miyako. She's also sometimes depicted with blue or bluish green skin. Yep. For pairings, most commonly with Seiga Kaku. In a group, she's most commonly associated with one of the 5 in the 10 Desires group, with Seiga allied with Miko, Futo, Tojiko. Commonly takes the form of clinging to Seiga. Some Western fans have noticed that Yoshika's hands moving as if she was driving an invisible car. Combined with her cap, this has led to memes of her being a cab driver. Chad, is that true? Are you one of those Western fans who saw her as a cab driver? Since her ability is eating anything, she has sometimes been compared to Rumiya and Yuyiko, with the latter being an infamous omnivore in the fanbase. While she's at a higher status than Yuyiko. Where she's at a higher status than Yuyiko, who even tries to eat her in some fan art, is also maybe indirectly linked to the fact that Yuyiko is only a stage 1 boss in 10 Desires. See, yeah, Rumiya is a meat eater, Yuyiko is an omnivore, and then Yoshika's that freak. That, you know the guy. I forget his name. He's that freak who could eat anything. That's Yoshika. Because Yoshika's a guard, she's sometimes been compared to Hong Meiling. Since she's also a guard. She's also a Chinese girl, and both of them are 3rd stage bosses. You know, that's all true. That is all true, but I don't think I've ever seen Yoshika and Meiling in the same image before. That wasn't like a here's everybody type of image. Many fans draw the characters on the seal as Emperor, Rescript, Comply, and Live, the format used in the film series Mr. Vampire, which is one of the most famous Jiangxi movies. Some also draw other things on it reflecting the situation she's in. Seiga Kaku. Some fans assume Seiga's hair stick is a chisel-shaped magical digging tool that appeared in the strange stories from a Chinese studio. In the original text, it was called whatever that says, and it means a type of ancient spade or a herb digging tool. See also the Baidupedia. I will not, but thanks anyway. Ironically, Seiga's fondness for Yoshika isn't that big of an exaggeration compared to most things. What do you mean, most things? She's often shown in conflict with Kasen Ibaraki, who behaves like a proper hermit. The pronunciation of her name allows her to be a target to become a target for Seiga parodies. That is written very strangely. Due to what has been revealed in Symposium of Post-Mysticism, some fans have come to see Seiga as an outright evil character. The acts revealed are stealing from people on Christmas and then selling their items back to them, and in particular the implications of how she got Yoshika as a servant. This is supported by Miko's wariness of her in Symposium of Post-Mysticism, and the fact that in Chapter 12 of Wildhorn Hermit she had a Kishin chief after her. Now, in Seiga's defense, the Kishin chief had nothing to do with the fact that she was a meanie head. It was just because they target hermits anyway, because that's how they work. But yes, Miko is wary of Seiga, even though Seiga is the one who taught her Taoism, and Miko considers... Byakuren says that she feels evil from her. So, yeah. Yes. Seiga Kaku. She was Toho's first real, like, antagonist type character, huh? But, well, she fell out of favor. Soga no Tojiko. Tojiko's phrase, Yateyanyo, during Miko's spell cards become her catchphrase in many fanworks. Oh, that explains a lot, actually. Because she says that in the Can You Name It song as well. She's often compared to Mima due to the ghost tale. Some fans anagrammatized her name to whatever the fuck that says. The ghost who buried herself in antiquity. Related to this setting, she had no use for a human body, which would break down so quickly. Except it wasn't even her fault. Futo was the reason she's a ghost. She's just chill about it because being a ghost is kind of cool. But yeah, Futo fucking sabotaged her vessel during the Shikaisen ritual. Futo's an asshole. Tojiko is commonly paired with Futo, who works under her. Huh? Wait a minute. Hold on. You are assuming. Or Miko, who the historical bases were romantically involved. That's true. With the latter, some fanworks create more close relationship between the two. Tojiko's ghost tales are often depicted as transitioning into skin around the upper thigh. Some even show her to have legs. No, Tojiko doesn't have legs. She's a ghost. Mononobe no Futo. For a short period, say the line, Bart. For a short period after she was introduced, many fans seemed to mistake her as a male for some reason. Say the line, Bart. Seriously or jokingly, maybe because her clothes resemble a uniform usually worn by men, similar to Singyoku's male form. Due to her unusual pose in her portrait, fan art often depicts her in the pose or in a similar one. Yeah, she has a pretty goofy pose. Oku's actually kind of similar, if you didn't know. Like fans like using Futo's pose, but a lot of poses that Oku has usually features her with her hand up, her left hand up with the little like fucking black Nova thing above it. Like there's like 3 or 4 instances of this, like her essay art, her symposium art. She has a portrait in Hiso Tensoku that does it too, but you can't see what she's holding, and her Grimoire of Marissa art as well. Like they all have the same hand motion with the little effect above it. So that's a pretty popular one for her. That's like the only pose you can really give her that's still cool and shows off everything without making it like an extremely dynamic pose. Because Tokiyami and Goyoku Ibun puts more emphasis on the arm cannon for the more action poses. Whereas all the other ones, they put more emphasis on that little black sun thing. Anyway, where was I? Because many fans think her expression looks smug, Futo is often depicted in fanworks with a doyagao, best described as a smug face in English. I don't know about that. Maybe it's just because Doremi already existed by the time I was in it. Her archaic speaking patterns in Japanese are often translated to early modern English by English-speaking fans in order to keep constant archaic speaking patterns of dialogue using words such as thee, wouldst, and twas. This has been turned into a moe point with some fans as various artists play up her naive, curious aspects, making her a sort of hermit moe, placing Yuka Kazumi's yokai moe phase. Even her temple statue burning tendencies hasn't lessened this effect, though a few pictures focus on this aspect of her. In some fan art, Futo is depicted wrapped in rice and seaweed like a makizushi, a pun on Futo and futomaki, which means large rolled sushi. Okay. Toyosati Miko. Miko has worked her way up in the fandom and become very popular amongst fans. Masato Kyosuke's work Gog Manga Fiori is a major source for fandom as Prince Shotoku appears in it. I don't know if that's true or not. Because of her known birthday, a lot of fans stated this started celebrating Miko's birthday every year on the 7th of February. Due to her headphones or rather modern looking outfit, she sometimes compared it with Vocaloids despite not showing any ability to sing. One of her alternate pals, Hopeless Masquerade, resembles Neku Sakuraba of The World Ends With You fame. Is Neku Sakuraba the main character? That's the guy with orange hair, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's the one that Miko has. He's got like orange hair, like a blackish dark purple top, and then like white pants. I don't actually know anything about The World Ends With You, like at all. Japanese fans use Mikotan Shitao as they are already the precedent of Moko's Mokotan Shitao. So there's always the influence of the ending of 10 Desires as something that one can comparatively quickly catch sight of. She's generally considered slim-figured, but unlike, say, Sakuya or Tenchi in fandom, she's shown to be very confident in herself. There was that one time in Genso Wander where Mamizo transforms into her, and then she untransforms into her, and she makes a comment about Miko's breast size, and then Miko throws her in the pit with Futo. Miko throws her into the bottom of the well with Futo. Hold on, it's getting dark. I need to close my curtains, but I don't know where the curtain rod is. Okay. Got it. Western fans have sometimes depicted her as transgender due to the original Shotoku being male and Miko choosing specifically to be reborn as female. Mamizo Tatsuiwa. Many fans have depicted her in situations similar to those experienced by Mami Tomoe from Madoka Magica. This is due to both series' popularity, similar character name, Mami's own association with the Tanuki from her line about the law of cycles. The kanji represents Tanuki of cycles. I have no idea what any of that means. Some fans depict her as Mamio, referencing Mario, who could wear a Tanuki suit in Mario Bros. 3. This also extends to Mario cosplaying as Mamizo. I've never seen that. Since her profile says she dislikes foxes and may cause trouble with the foxes against Sokyo, fans depict her as having an antagonistic relationship with the kitsune Ran Yakumo. Fans theorize that Mamizo's name was actually based on Mima's, simply being a reverse of the kanji to show Mami, deceiving spirit, then changing the characters to show Mamizo's current name. Fans even go further, stating that Mamizo is simply a character mocking Mima, and that Zun's trolling the fans who strongly advocate Mima, saying that he's aware of this theory. And that's his favorite character, chat. Zun's favorite character was designed just to shit on Mima fans. That's all. His favorite character. Baka Danuki are famous for having large testicles, and they're often depicted in art prominently. Since Mamizo is a female, many fans depict her with large breasts to compensate for that, aside from a few artists who have drawn Mamizo as a male. There have been various fan art of her using her transformations to tease the original person, sometimes with an obvious chest difference. This often leads to breast envy in the original girl. I did mention that a little bit earlier. She's been shown to be an older sister figure to Nue and some other characters in fan art. Since she was shown to be an increasingly regular customer of Forbidden Scrollery, she's been paired with Kozuzu Motori in some fan art with Mamizo in her disguise. This raises the question of if the bells on her leaf hat and Hopeless Masquerade came from Kozuzu or reference her. Neat. Did you know in Hopeless Masquerade, one of Mamizo's portraits has 6 fingers? You should probably include that. You know the wiki doesn't mention Minariko's 2 left feet, but it mentions Miko's 2 right hands? That pisses me off for no real reason. They also mention the one panel where Hekatia appeared barefoot in Visionaries. They made a note that she was barefoot, or she had boots. Like, they made note that she wore boots once in Visionaries, and then she's barefoot all the, it's fucking, I don't know, man. But we can't talk about Minariko's 2 left feet. Alright, chat. Well, there you go. Light mode, I am now going to get up. When I come back, I will put dark mode back on. That will be your indicator that I have returned. So you can either do it alongside me, or you can sit there and wait for me to come back, or you can mash the right arrow until the screen goes black and you'll know that I'm back. You choose your fate, Western man. Here we go. Up and at 'em. Get ready. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Okay. Whew. 10 squats, 10 crunches. Okay. And now, double dealing character. Let's go. Wagasaki Hime. During the demo release of Double Dealing Character, it was popular to group Wagasaki Hime with Sekibanki and Kagero Imaizumi together. Although this has somewhat decreased. However, one with just her and Kagero are still common due to the grassroots yokai network, with Kagero sometimes attempting to eat her. Why does it say that this is decreased? I mean, I guess if you think of it in the sense of when the game was like literally new versus like 10 years later, it has decreased, but like, you know, this wasn't written like yesterday. Wagasaki Hime is often depicted as a piece of sashimi or tempura, since Marisa Kirisame referenced her as one. Also, she may also be a food target for Mistia Lorelei and Yu Yu Kusai Yoji, similar to how Regal Nightbug and Mistia herself are food targets. Being among some of the yokai from the Misty Lake, and the fact that she appears in the same stage as Wagasaki Hime, she is often shown with Chirno. That's not true. That's not true. I don't think I've ever seen an image of those two together ever, even if they do live in the same place. Due to living at the Misty Lake, it's mocked that Wagasaki Hime was present during the events of Embodiment Scar Double back in 2003. 2003? 2003? When the Scarlet incident occurred, which makes perfect sense. Huh? Wrong game. She is sometimes nicknamed Waggy Saggy in the Western fan base. She is sometimes portrayed as being unable to fly in fan works, which has led to her coming up with different methods to travel on land or fly. Sekibanki. When Double Dealing Character was first announced, due to only seeing a small screenshot of Sekibanki where there was one of Sakuya's knives next to her, some fans mistakenly speculated that she was either holding a large hammer or a sword. Fans also call her the Cape Girl, and speculated she was either Rin Kainbyo, Kozuzu Motori, or Yumemi Okazaki. Okay. After the demo was released, she had been subject of two main jokes, one being her head getting used like a ball, and the other having her head as a yukari. Sekibanki is also compared to Nadia Fortune from Skullgirls, Mami Tomoe from Magica Madoka, and Celti from Durarara, respectively, due to obvious circumstances. I would argue that Mami Tomoe is not obvious circumstances, but whatever. Kagero. Since her first appearance in the Double Dealing Character demo, she has been paired with either Kane Kamishirasawa. Why? Because both of them are third stage bosses and are half beasts that transform in the nights of the full moon, or Momiji Nabashi because of being a White Wolf Tengu and Kagero a werewolf. Moreover, she's sometimes depicted as a more dog-like character, just like what happens to Momiji. She's commonly depicted as having a wolf tail in addition to her wolf ears, despite not having a tail in her official portraits. I didn't know that. I like how sometimes I just assume characters have tails. I assume they have wolf tails, but then like I don't think about if the rabbits have tails. EOSD is confirmed to take place in 2003. Where in God's name did you get that information? What the fuck how is EOSD taking place a year? Huh? Bohemian Archive and Japanese Red. Is this gonna give me a real date? Here are the date from the article. I see. Hazuki issue. Estimate 2003 826, 2003 926. Okay. Are you sure? On the day of the last noon, another burglary. Ever since the skylight last month. Oh yeah, you're right. You are right. You are in fact right. The Scarlet Mist incident, according to Bohemian Archive and Japanese Red, took place in June of 2023. Despite the game coming out in 2002. Now that's really weird because Toho, for the longest time, Toho has always kind of, when it's released, the time of year has lined up with actual, like, modern. Like, actual modern time. Like, a game comes out in 2011, it's 2011. Because the outside world became a more prominent factor in the series. So it makes sense for it all to line up. So it's actually kind of weird that EOSD takes place a year after it's released. That is kind of weird. But this is also the first game in the Windows series, right? Well, this game, EOSD takes place in the summer. That's what we just learned. And we know that PCB takes place in the spring. Because winter didn't go away. I mean, POV happens a year early. You'd have to look into it. The book confirms the STM has been getting Soka since at least 1998. Yeah, it's been there for a while. I mean, you know the vampire incident was caused by Remilia, right? Remilia caused the vampire incident that formulated the spell card rules. That's a bit of a simplification of events, but yes. So, from there, 5 years later, she was like, okay, I'm gonna throw some mist everywhere. The vampires showed up and they started fight. They picked a fight and it was not good. It wasn't good, and it resulted in spell cards. What a weird incident! An extremely untalked about incident that is the explanation to the entire system of combat within the series. It's like how Toho's like theme, the theme of Eastern Story, that leitmotif and everything. Like has its own theme that showed up in Aku's Untouched Score Volume 5. Very strange. Some of the most like important aspects of Toho's entire design are tucked away in some weird spots. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Wait, dude. Due to an infamous tweet in which Elon Musk posted a fan art of Kagero and jokingly claimed it was a selfie, it is common to refer to Kagero as Elon Musk and vice versa. The fan art used by Musk in question was drawn by One Drawroid. Ben Tsukumo. Ben is often seen eating or associated with apple pie in fan art. This most likely stems from her spell card music sign Double Score, and it looks like the top crust of an apple pie. What? Oh, okay. Yatsuhashi. A lot of fans have noticed that Yatsuhashi's design bears similarities to Hatate Hime Kaido because of her outfit, color scheme, and Satori Komeiji because of her outfit design and the fact that the strings on her koto resemble the wires connecting Satori's third eye. Because of this, she can be seen with either one of those two in fanworks. That's not true. That's not true. What? Some fans will refer to her as not Ben alongside her sister Ben due to said fans not being able to remember her name, or they simply see her as a bland and not very memorable character. That is true. I definitely called her not Ben because I couldn't remember her name. Her sister's name was Ben. That was the easiest shit in the world to remember. And then her name was Yatsuhashi, and I was like, you're fucking not Ben, alright? You're not Ben. It's, sometimes I wonder what it, like, the peak of a character's popularity is pretty much always when they, like, right when they release, right? So, some of these characters fresh out of their release, you wonder how much people attach to them? Because I do feel like every, with every new game, there's always someone who's like, this is my time to be somebody. So these people, like, they just find it, they find their favorite are not even their favorite. They just pick a new character and they attach themselves to that character and they become the most obnoxious motherfucker on the planet regarding that character. So they become synonymous with that character, and that becomes their quote-unquote claim to fame. I am a super fan of this character. Okay, brother. Whatever you say, brother. Funny enough, those are the kinds of people that make it hard to get more fans for those characters. Those lesser appreciated characters. Because at the top of your little pyramid is this guy who just drives people away because he's really obnoxious. You can hate me if you want, but you know it's true. Getting auto-modded for aggression. Well, take care of it. The auto-mod only blocks it. It's up to the moderator whether or not it lives or dies. Seija Kijin. Bro? That's kind of a dangerous huh? You want chat members saying that to me? I don't know if that's a good idea. Seija Kijin. Comments related to Seija written on internet sites are sometimes shown to be written upside down where it references her ability. She's sometimes shown causing trouble for others using her ability and being a general troublemaker. Fans tend to draw her upside down due to her nature. Several fanworks like to play with the idea that she says the opposite of what she thinks. For example, if she says that this is not cute at all, then she really believes it is cute. I have seen that numerous times. Some fan art features Seija with switched limbs. Huh? Right hands and feet are on the left and vice versa. This is suggested by the fact she appears in-game with her right hand flipped towards the player, an unnatural movement. What the fuck? Wait a minute, what? She appears in-game with her right hand flipped towards the... I don't even know what that means. Seija is commonly paired with Seamoon, the stand-up Enrico Pucci from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who are able to inverse the surface much like her ability. Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill has a similar hairstyle, drawing an association between the two, sometimes showing the two together or an alternate switching clothing. Along that line, Ryuko is considered to be a chaotic sort of character, although she doesn't have any sort of malicious intent like Seija does. Pairing-wise, she is usually the Ryuko to Shin Myomaru's Mako. She is occasionally depicted, especially in China, though still uncommon and highly controversial, as not a villain at all, but attempting to start a communist revolution and promote equality. Huh? Sometimes I read these lines and I get like mental flashbanged. Like, one of them's like, oh, she looks like a character from Kill la Kill. And then immediately after that, it's like, oh yeah, some people think she's a communist. And it's like, huh? Alright. Bro shot a blank and the fucking Zeppelin went down. Shin Myomaru Sukuna. Due to making the player grow in size and double-dealing character, Shin Myomaru can make other things grow or shrink in size, such as Sakuya Izayoi's chest. Thank you for the explanation. The example. She is mostly drawn from a size range between the palm of a hand up to the knee length of an adult. There is a tendency that the gesture and behavior to be very random due to her being childlike. Since her ancestor exterminated an Oni, some fans believe that she would have a conflictual relationship with Suika Ibuki and Yugi Hoshiguma. It is sometimes seen fighting with one or both of them. In comical situations, she would use the mallet's power to nullify Suika Ibuki's ability to become a giant, much to the Oni's surprise. She is referred to in China as Small Bull, which originates from Kogasa's name, Small Umbrella. Okay. Raiko Horikawa. Being a personification of a drum, it's not uncommon for artists to depict her derriere being used as a drum by others, and she is sometimes shown to have a masochistic attitude towards it. She's considered sharply dressed by fans, sometimes invoking smooth criminal vibes with her outfit. It also tends to highlight the often curvy figure she's given. Her drums and her fight are sometimes considered to be DK barrels from Donkey Kong Country due to their similar appearance. The not uncommon bit is... I don't know about that one, but she is a drum, so the jokes write themselves. Alright, chat. Get up. Here I go. I've seen it. Wee woo, wee woo. Freak radar, freak radar. Somebody kill that guy. I'm up. I'm ready. Here we go. 10. Whoa, God fell over. Try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. God damn. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Satan. The ambiguous purplish stains on her mallet are implied to be mochi based off her official description, but the first image of Satan was a photograph of her portrait on the LOL-K demo disc where they appeared red. As a result, artists assumed the stains were blood stains and occasionally portrayed Satan as a psychopath or a yandere. Even after the release of this demo, some artists still interpret the stains as blood. Okay. Ringo. Due to her pseudo-English name, comparisons with Ringo Starr from The Beatles are occurring. Oh, are. Right now. They're happening right now. Ringo as a real English name is known to be derived from the Beatles member. The onomatopoetic text MGMG Mogu Mogu Choo Choo that appears next to her in Legacy Lunatic Kingdom seems to have been a catchphrase of hers and fan art. She has been compared to Santa Claus because of her hat, Doremi. She's sometimes depicted in fan art with a tapir or as one, since in Chinese and Japanese folklore are named after a Baku like her. Sagumi. Her white hair and singular wing have made comparisons drawn to Sephiroth, the villain of Final Fantasy VII, known for transforming into a one-winged angel in other games that he has appeared in. He does that in What do you mean other games? He does that in the actual game, though. He does that in all of them. Due to her ability and because she is considered a type of a Monojaku, it is not uncommon to see Sagame depicted with Seiji Kijin, either in a friendly or antagonistic way. She's also sometimes referred to as Sega God or Super Sega. Okay. Sorry, Seija. Seija. I meant Seija, not Sega. Unlike her canon counterpart, there are jokes of Sagame speaking too much without thinking, thus giving birth to unwanted situations. I've never seen her do that before, but that sounds funny. I usually see Sagame talking with a notepad. That's what I see. Some fans have misunderstood how her ability works, and thus they make jokes of her ability that literally anything she says will be the complete opposite. For example, if she says the next stage will be easy, then the next stage will actually be hard. Yeah, her ability changes the course of to the opposite. It doesn't just make things become the opposite. So she can't just, you know, her ability is, it's not necessarily that everything she says is the opposite. It's that whatever she says sets a course towards the opposite. So, yeah. In other words, she's a fucking hard character to write for. Clown P! Clappy! Clappy's popularity has increased rapidly in the Western Touhou fan base due to her design of wearing clothing that's based on the American flag. It is because of her outfit that many Americans and even non-Americans create a lot of substantial numbers of jokes about Clown Piece and American pride. She is even considered to actually be American even when she's not officially, and her only reason to wear the stars and stripes is because it's seen as a threat to the Lunarians when humans first landed on the moon. Some Western fans dub her as the American Loli or even America-chan, both occasionally being spelt differently. Some non-Americans might not like this approach to considering her as an American. Well, fuck you. What do you care? Huh? What do you care? Some see Clown P as a complete lunatic who can drive literally anyone mad, hinting her madness via her design, speech, and even her name. What do you mean hinting? Her catchphrase is, "Kyahaha, a lunatic time." That's not a hint, alright? That's about as subtle as a sucker punch. People also believe that her spell cards, even on easy mode, are some of the hardest in the Touhou project due to this insanity that involves rapidly making the game harder, with fans even noting her spells are harder than Junko's. Many have reported to getting frustrated while fighting her, which can suggest that Clown Piece's ability to drive someone to madness can even extend to outside of the game. That's funny, but I'm sure there will be somebody who thinks that's not true. And those are fun people to talk to. Miscellaneous. This is a great track. Due to one of Cirno's memes involving her being the strongest, she is compared to Clown Piece since the latter is considered the hardest boss to appear in the Touhou project. Some fans were surprised that Clown Piece is an actual Touhou character and not one of the fan-made characters due to her design. I get that, I do. She's often associated with the term 099+, referencing the countless attempts at her spell cards. That's me. That's literally me on her final spell because I did not understand how to do it. The way I did that spell was so far from how you're supposed to do it, it's a miracle I did it in the first place. 0 out of 99+, boys. Her jester-like style and association with insanity has caused a lot of artists to side her with the other jester characters such as Jevil, Deltarune, although fan art of her with Marks from Kirby Superstar, Dimension from Super Paper Mario, and Pomni from The Amazing Digital Circus are also common. No, they're not. Okay, so some motherfucker really went back and wrote Pomni, because Pomni's like a year old at best. Someone really went back and updated this to include that character. Why? What about the other characters who haven't been updated since their fucking release year? Huh? What about them? You really went back and included Pomni? Fuck you. Piece of shit. Junko. Many fans consider Junko to be the smartest final boss to ever appear in the Touhou project. This is mostly because of her scheme to get revenge on the secured Chang'e that even indirectly caused the events of Urban Legend and Limbo, and she is purely of purity. Fans have noticed that she has no title. That her unique species is the divine spirit, and her theme all reflects her purity. Her spell cards are considered to be the most simplistic ever for a final boss and extra stage boss in Touhou because they were uniquely designed to kill the player rather than show beautiful Danmaku, which also reflects both smartness and purity. Yeah, but they're all really fucking boring as a result. English translations will use standard or perfect English to reflect her purity. This, however, violates the spirit of the spell card rules, much like Yorihime went about doing in Silent Sinner in Blue, showing that she went to her enemy's level. Wow, I can't believe you just did that. This motherfucker wrote this whole paragraph, and then at the end was like, but actually, she did it exactly like the Lunarians that she hates. She stooped to their level. This is written by a Lunarian. This is written by a fucking Lunarian sympathizer, man. They wrote all that fluff text to hide the fact that they were gonna diss her at the end. That's what they did. Right at the end. Chang'e. Jungkook's hatred towards Chang'e continues in the fandom. She's always trying to get her attention by shouting things like, "Chang'e, are you watching?" in reference to a line of dialogue she utters if you lose a life in legacy mode. Despite not being present, and she also tries any way possible to upset Chang'e, such as negative comments about her, suggesting death threats, trying to destroy things Chang'e may care for, such as the lunar capital, trying to steal her allies, such as Racing Udon and Inaba. She may also like to see situations where a thing dies, and she imagines Chang'e being the thing getting killed. Some depictions will have Junko being tsunduru towards her due to loose family relations. A common gag also has Junko mistaking Seiga or Kaguya for Chang'e, the former because of similar kanji in their name, and both for their similar appearance. What do you mean similar appearance? Nobody even knows what the fuck she looks like. You get a silhouette at best. She would also feel uncomfortable or angry if a word occurs that sounds or looks similar to Chang'e or the Japanese equivalent joga, such as the English change. Miscellaneous. Due to her name meaning pure fox, she is sometimes paired with Ron Yakumo or Chen or foxes in general. Because of her ability and being a mother, fans have nicknamed her as Pure Mom. That was a sentence I just read. In some fan art, she's depicted interested over Raisin, with the latter feeling uncomfortable. Yep. Sometimes in fan art, she's depicted with the clothes and looks of Junko and Oshima from the Danganronpa series. I've never seen an outfit swap between those two. Hikatia Lapis Lazuli. Much light has been made of her fashion sense and unconventional modern outfit. Many fans have compared her to scene, goth, or punk fashion and Hot Topic. Some even refer to her as Hot Topic-chan. Some Japanese fan dubs her as Freaky T-shirt Weirdo, Henna T-shatsu Yaro, or just Strange T, Hen T, from Conversation in Sanae's Extra Scenario. Besides her own, sometimes she is shown to be a fan of odd t-shirts in general. Example from Danboru Not Safe for Work. A running gag in fandom has other characters putting unusual objects on her hat, or at least attempting to, with the intent to try and change her hair colors. This is an example. Why is that not safe for work? Why would that be not safe for work if it's... hold on. No. No. Hold on. Hold on. That's not safe for work, bro. That's not safe for work. That's just her in a Mega Milk shirt. That's all. There's nothing bad about that. That's just her in a Mega Milk shirt. And the other example... How the fuck is that not safe for work? What? Huh? They put a watermelon on her head, and her hair turned green. That's kind of funny, actually. It might just be saying Danboru itself is not safe for work. I don't know. Okay. Alright, Hidden Star in 4 seasons. Oh man. Alright. Flashbang. Get up. Here I go, you bitch. Here comes the next set. Are you ready? Let's get it out. 1, 2. I'm gonna fall over. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoa. Huh. Okay. Alright. Ready? Toho 16. The fact that I can see the stage 5 bosses already is a little alarming. Eternity Larva. As another insect yokai, she's sometimes depicted with Riguru Nightbug. She's also shown running away from Yamame Kurorani. Her name is sometimes purposely misspelled due to Zun's comments on deciding her name. Eternity. Nemono Sakata. She's often depicted as Yandere or Yangiri. Yangire due to carrying a rather big knife. Holy shit, this is loud. Bro, put on an 8-minute track. We're gonna shrink that, I'll tell you that. Fans joke that she is old Sakuya or Yukari with a knife. She's also shown with the latter for similarity, having long, messy hair in their debut game. Oh, on! Due to their similar jobs of protecting shrines, she's sometimes depicted with Kyoko Kasudani, who guards the Myoden Temple. Coincidentally, they're both green-haired and have tails and animal ears. On is often depicted with a verbal tick saying, ah, ooh, either in reaction to things or woven into normal dialogue. I've never seen her hanging out with Kyoko. Narumi Yatadera. Narumi has proven popular with Chinese fans, if not because of the catchphrase, I'll always love Narumi Yatadera, originating from chat forums and later videos, becoming a copy-pasta meme. The phrase might have originated in an ironic meme, I'll always love Nico Yazawa, the famous character from Love Live, where caricature some ACG fans who exaggerate their temporary affections and soon forget them and call others their waifu. Damn, that hits hard. Narumi is also associated with Vietnamese culture due to her iconic straw hat. There is an interesting fact. The Toho fans in China are nicknamed Viet Cong because they pop up whenever Toho is referred to in other videos, similar to the northern Vietnamese guerrilla armies which greatly troubled the southern forces. When Toho fans appear in these places, it's referred to as Viet Cong poking out their heads. What the fuck is that? Who wrote that? What? You can actually see people posting that on Bilibili. No shit. But what does that have to do with Narumi? Narumi has a straw hat. So she's synonymous with Vietnamese culture. By the way, did you know that Toho fans in China are nicknamed Viet Cong? Like, what? Alright, that's no longer a Narumi fun fact, bro. That has nothing to do with her. Let her go. Holy shit, they took her fucking article to post whatever that is. Good lord. Satono Nishida and Mai Tereda. Look at that. They don't even get their own fucking categories. They're paired together. People have drawn comparisons to Ron Yakumo. Due to their similar circumstances as servants controlled by sages with similar abilities. Suck my nut. Nobody in the world has ever compared Ron to either of those bozos. No one. They also have been compared to shrine maidens such as Reimu and Sanai. Suck my right nut. Nobody has ever compared them to Reimu or Sanai. For Satono and Mai respectively, oh no, no respect here, as being servants of a goddess who grants them their abilities as well as because of the fact they use amulets in battle. It is speculated they are based on life and bomb items due to their clothing colors of purple and green. She's pink! She's pink! And similar role compared to those item functions, even though their abilities are swapped, they even drop their respective items in game. Maya's been compared. Who's comparing? Who's comparing these characters to other characters? This is like the 5th fucking character getting compared to these. Nobody compares them. Nobody cares. Soja no Tojiko, due to their similarities involving shooting zigzag pattern bullets and having green colored appearance and clothing. Satono has been compared to Satori Komeiji due to the fact that their first names be phonetically similar and the fact that they have pink colored appearance for clothing. This doesn't happen! This has never happened in the history of Toho Project. Never. Satono? Oh, you know, like Satori, because they're both pink. So now they're pink, but she's purple earlier. She's purple and green, but now she's pink when it matters compared to Satori, right? Oh man, alright, cool. Great, fantastic. Stop yelling, fuck you. This is bullshit. This whole category should be wiped. Wiped. You're telling me that Lyrica Prism River has 0 entries and Satono Nishida and Mai Tereda have 4? I'm heated. Okina Madara. Many jokes involving backdoors, both literal and figuratively, have been made with Okina. Great start. Because of her nature as a sage and her portal-like ability with backdoors, Okina is consistently paired with Yukari in fan art. As Yukari is often paired with Reiwa, Okina is sometimes paired with Marissa. Good one. In Violet Detector, this pairing has seen some semi-canon action. In fan art, Okina is often portrayed as a motherly figure towards both Mai and Satono. And as of Wa42 on. She's also portrayed as a motherly figure towards Hata no Kokoro, since the Buddhist god she's based on, Matarajin, is considered by some sects to be a deified Hata no Kawakatsu. Kawakatsu performed with the Menriki masks which Shotoku made. Kokoro is a Tsukumogami of those very same Menriki. Because of the same reasons, Okina is also sometimes drawn together with Miko, whose historical counterpart Prince Shotoku was friends with Hata no Kawakatsu. Wow. Okina is commonly jokingly compared to Junko due to her perceived similar appearance. Oftentimes being labeled as Door Junko or Alolan Junko. You can tell when this was written. Due to her colorful appearance, the former also occurs to a lesser extent with Yukari. Some Western fans jokingly compare her name to the song Hakuna Matata. I've never heard that, but I get it. I like that. Alolan Junko. You can tell this was written when Sun and Moon was new. That's, what, 7 years ago? 6 years ago? I don't even know when that game came out. Piece of shit. Piece of shit video game. Alright, chat. Toho 17. Toho 17. Is there a Hisuian Junko? There can be. You play your cards right. Get up. Get down. With the sickness. You fuck or get up. Come on, get down with the sickness. Here we go. Whoa. Bad start. 1, 2. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. One, two, 3, 4, 9. All right. Alright. Eika Ebisu. Artwork of her on the demo CD was leaked! By who, Zun? Huh? There's a rat in Zun's house. Prior to its release, before it was revealed she was stillborn, some thought her skin was just tan. Oh. Some people also thought she was a Jizo statue due to her ears being bigger than the other characters. She's sometimes shown drinking Yebisu beer, a pun on her last name. Ebisu, I get it. Eika has a few fandom pairings, mostly within the cast of a respective game. Possibly due to Eika being a stillborn, Urumi's baby in parental title, as well as their association with the Sanzu River and Stones, the two have been drawn together in fan art. These are two of the most unpopular Windows characters in the entire series. Often portrayed as a mother-daughter pairing by the 5 people who like these characters. Since Zun stated in a video that she has ties with Keiki's idolatry theming, and since the gods they were based off are on siblings according to the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki genealogies, Keiki and Eika have been paired before in fan art. Okay. Earlier on, some drew Narumi with her as she's a Jizo statue. It can be assumed it's due to Jizo association with the Sino Kawada, but it might have also been because Eika was mistaken as a Jizo by some. It's because of her big ears. Okay, streamer? Well, yeah. What do you mean, okay, streamer? Just how it is. Urumi Ushizaki. Her official portrait is shown to have noticeably bigger breasts compared to other characters. As such, she's often drawn with big breasts in fan art. It is usually associated with milk jokes. Wow, shocker. In fan art, she's often drawn with cane in her Hakutaku form. Is she? Kutaka Niwatari. Because of her design, theme, and occupation as god of chickens, many fans consider her to be an actual chicken. This is also supported by one of her portraits during the extra stage. There's also a running joke about KFC and Kutaka, making the joke Kutaka fried chicken. She's often shown with Misty or Lorelei, usually on the run from a hungry Yiko. Yachie Kishou. Due to her species as a Jidiao makes her a tortoise dragon. She's often compared with Bowser, the main antagonist of the Super Mario series, and in some cases Bowsette, the fan-made genderman version of Bowser. I like that it explained who Bowser was. She's also compared with Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid due to her blonde hair, green tail, and horns. Because of her hairstyle, she's compared to Karen from a meme about suburban white mom who takes the kids away when displeased and constantly asks stores for their managers. Additionally, her status as the boss of an alliance creates more jokes about Karen herself being the manager. Dude, so unfortunate. Mayumi. She is compared with Sukuni Katano from Lenin Project. Who the fuck cares about Lenin Project? Because both of them are Haniwa, both are stage 5 bosses in their respective games, and one of their spell cards acts similarly. Because Keiki is responsible for creating her, she's often drawn together with Keiki in fan art. As a Haniwa, she is sometimes drawn with cracks on her body or face. Yeah, Mayumi's actually really cool because you can get away with a lot of battle damage type art with her, where instead of just like bruises, cuts, and damaged clothes, you can literally have her body falling apart like a ceramic. It's really cool. But she's not very popular, so you don't see it that often. Fans note that compared to other characters in Touhou, Mayumi's skin looks sunburned. You mean it looks like clay, right? Like, you mean it looks like she's made out of clay? Because she's a Haniwa? You fucking idiot. Alternatively, her skin tone is compared to red pottery, such as those of real Haniwa idols. Okay, never mind. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Keiki Hania Sushin. Fans have made a pout face on her official sprite, despite it being fake and does not actually exist within the game. It became popular and some fan arts have the pout face included. In game, her portraits include written "Oh" and create expressions, the phrases in question being spammed across Twitter upon her initial reveal. "Oh" and "create" are also cited by Keiki in fan arts portraying her. She's also responsible for creating the entirety of the Haniwa Army Corps, especially Mayumi Jotogu. She is characterized as a motherly figure towards them. Keiki is often described by Chinese fans to be like wearing Zhuang, an ethnic group living mainly in the southern western autonomous region of Guangxi, ethnic clothes. Some Chinese fan artists jokingly portray her opening a stall selling clay dolls, haniwa, and kebab because of the flame behind her. Because Keiki sounds very similar to cake, she is sometimes associated with cakes in fandom. Okay. Saki Kurokoma. Her origin being Prince Shotoku's Pegasus, many fans imagine Toyosato no Toyosato Mimi no Miko riding on her. Because her design looks very similar to a cowgirl, she's often associated with Yeehaw or sometimes Yee-Caw for those who mistake her for a bird. Jokes. She was mistaken as a bird in her initial release. While it was confirmed that she's actually a Pegasus, some fans still consider her a bird. Due to her similarity in design, Saki is sometimes referred to as Cowboy Aya. Upon release, some people were wondering whether she had a right arm or not, as it is left ambiguous by her portrait and sprite. Because of that, some artists tend to leave it ambiguous as well. I didn't know that. Does she not show her right arm? I mean, she does in 19 for sure, but I don't remember her not like having any trace of a right arm. That'd be kind of metal if she had one arm. That's kind of cool. Because she is a Kurokoma, a type of flying horse, she's often drawn with horse ears in fan art. They under her hat, yeah. Horse girls got really popular, and then she was a horse girl, and then her popularity... Do you think Saki's popularity spiked when Uma Musume started to take off? Honest question. Do you think that Saki's popularity went up even slightly after Uma Musume like took to the streets? Because I feel like she would definitely catch some positive strays in that regard. All right. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think they cared. Yeah, I don't either, but I'm still curious because Uma Musume is kind of taking over. It's kind of taken over a lot of things. It's very popular. Alright, get up, you lazy assholes. It's time. Here we go again. You ready? I know you're not, but you're gonna have to be. Here we go. One, two, focusing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Huh. All right. I'm here. Michael Gotokuji. Because of her name, some people made fun of her by making a Photoshop of Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. with her face. I've never seen that, but that sounds funny. As a Maneki Neko, there was a conveniently made image of an actual but buffed Maneki Neko that was photoshopped with Mike's face on it, as in being a joke of Mike in lunatic mode. When Mike was first revealed in the game's demo CD, people were immediately confused on her gender due to receiving the ambiguous design, along with the fact that a Maneki Neko is known to be male if it raises its right paw. Oh. Her name made people confused on her gender even more, since Mike, as it is pronounced in English, is usually a name for males. There's a running joke where people would say that "this is Mike" whenever an image of Mike appears, which is likely originated from "this is Michael" meme, when the standing kitten named Michael is in it. I don't know that meme. A similar joke in Chinese, which is whatever that says, although meaningless when translated, which is "this Kuji Goto." It is a wordplay that roughly translates into "this is Goto Kuji" because of the Japanese pronunciation of She meaning yes, is, and everything in the same rage. And C are similar. Yeah, that made sense to me. Bro, Discord image link Lamau. What? What do you mean? Is he saying that there's a link in the Discord right now for me? Or is he saying that one of those links takes you to a Discord? What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Nah? I don't know what he's saying not to. I asked like 3 questions. Okay. The convenient image. Oh. So one jackass made an image and it got featured on this article? Gotcha. Takane Yamashiro. Since Yamawaro are Mountain Kappa, she's been compared with Nitori Kawashiro. Likewise, she's usually drawn with Nitori in fan works. She's also compared with Koichi Komeiji due to their similar hair designs between both characters. People just write whatever they want, huh? The convenient image, it's gone. That's why I'm laughing. Oh, so if I click that, it'll 404. Let me see. Let me see. Boys, this content is no longer available. Unavailable content. Unavailable content. So somebody should probably remove that. Sanyo Komakusa. People have commented on how her design looks like Yorihime, Meira, or Kotohime alternate sprites, and she has, which was used as material of comparison, because she has seen smoking a tobacco. What? Because she has seen smoking a tobacco. Oh man, Sanyo smoking a tobacco. She has become one of the characters along with Moko to be associated with smoking jokes. The difference is that the former was actually smoking, while the latter did not. Jimbo. This is the name given to the large mid-boss wheel ghost in Stage 4, mostly within the Western community, but it had slightly spread outwards. Its name comes from a deformation of the meme. Looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo, as it is notoriously hard for a mid-boss in a Toho game. Jimbo is subject to ironic memes about being the best Toho character, likely because of being predicted to not get much data on it. Oh yeah, some people are very funny. Didn't you know? Misamaru. Some fans have pointed the similarity of her design, more specifically her hairstyle, to Fiona's mother from the Shrek franchise. You really just wanted something. You just wanted something to say about her, and that's what you got? That's what you got from Misamaru? That's what you got. Tsukasa Kuramaki. So she is sometimes confused by new players of being another cat girl. Really? Really? Wow. Wow, that's bad. Megumu Izunamaru. Fans sometimes compare her to Sonic the Hedgehog because of her being blue. Put alongside Tsukasa being a yellow-like colored fox like Tails, and also because she's a Tengu who are known for being fast in the Toho project. She's also called Blue Aya due to the character both being Tengu and looking similar in design. Some people thought she was Tenma due to the name appearing in her theme, Starry Mountain of Tenma. That would have been kind of cool if there was a big boss of Tengu showing up. She's often seen in fan art alongside Aya Hatate, sometimes Momiji, and other Tengu. Shimada Tenkyu. Due to her design that assimilates to a rainbow and therefore possesses the primary colors of light and its variants, numerous fans have referred to as the RGB God. What do you mean example? Why do I need an example of what RGB is? Because of her dress design, many fans like to think she represents the community as the colors of the rainbows. Chinese fans have jokingly compared Shimada to Jia Ling, a Chinese Zhangsheng performer, comedian, and actress due to their similar-looking hairstyles. What about Blue Kaneko? What about Blue Yumemi? Huh? Momoyo. Himemushi. Due to her carrying a shovel and pickaxe, fans have jokingly associated Momoyo with the sandbox video game Minecraft. Due to her ability to eat dragons, fans have made artwork of her chewing, eating, or even devouring Yashie Kisho. There is a running joke of Momio among Chinese fans, which is whatever that says, meaning your worker grandpa's here. It's also an alternative, which is whatever that says. It's a wordplay on the words whatever those characters mean. They have the same pronunciation, gong and centipede. Oh. Okay. Okay. Another Discord image link, bro. If I click that, will it not exist? Will it? No, this link's to Pixiv, bro. See? It says down there, you can't see it. It says Pixiv EN Artworks, which means if I click that, it's a bad idea. Why is Pixiv not marked not safe for work? Because you have to enable those settings, I assume. Get up, streamer. Get up, sit down for 5 seconds, and then do it again. Go ahead. Read ahead, jackasses. I'll be right back. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. Sun B10. Due to being based on Sun Wukong, many have likened her to Goku from Dragon Ball. Enoko Mitsugashira. Due to the way her weapons work, there have been jokes where the traps will activate when the person is shaking hands with her. Chiari Tenkajin. As both she and Hikatia Lapis Lazuli wear shirts saying something along the lines of Welcome Hell, some have joked that she bought the shirt from Hikatia. Hisami Omotsu. Her hairstyle has given her comparisons to both Kaguya and Star Sapphire. Zamu Nipaku. On some comments on YouTube uploads of her theme, some state that the vocals in her music theme sound like an erhu. Don't write anything if you're gonna write that. Okay? Alright? If you're gonna write anything, don't write that. Alright, I'm getting up. Spit-offs. Oh my god. Alright, Juicer page. Juicer page. So this is all the fighting game characters, chat. These are the fighting game characters, as you can see. We're going to be going through the spin-off characters. Then we have the Printworks and the Music CD characters. Alright. Here we go. But first, 10 more big ones for the stream. Okay? I'm ready. Are you ready? Oh. Oh. Okay. Immaterial and missing power. Suika Ibuki. Suika is the focus of the popular meme "We Are Japanese Goblin," based on the song Bokumoon, Koko, and Satsuki ga Tenkomori's work Disruption remix. Can you believe, chat, that the Japanese Goblin song is so fucking notorious? And then you're like, oh, what group made that? And it's a group you've probably never heard before, ever. Usually the really popular songs, the groups that made them kind of go on. But I don't think this group did. I don't think they did very much of anything. Are they like... Because like a lot of the meme songs are all by fucking Beat Mario, right? Majority of them are anyway. Okay. Suika is widely considered to be the flattest character in all of the characters in Total Project. Following this are things about her giving herself breasts, or in some case stealing them from others in fan art. She has created a small meme in Western circles due to a Morino Han forecoma, due to the last line she says in it, resulting in... What? Resulting in coming up with other Donboro pictures in Western fan works in regards to other shapely characters. Alternatively, she's portrayed as manipulating density to make her breasts larger, if not otherwise having the ability but not doing so. Can I be honest with you? I've never seen any art depicting this. Ever. If Suika has large chests, then that's just because the artist draws everybody with large chests. I've never seen any of this breast envy shit with Suika, like ever. Straight up. She's sometimes depicted as Moonbuster due to the fact she made the moon explode in Bohemian Archive in Japanese Red. Suika, just like in the official works, is highly treated as a very heavy drinker, taken to an advantage level to the extent that she gets serious hangovers, or even no hangovers because she drinks that much alcohol, making her a very hard opponent to beat in drinking. She's often shown living in the Hakurei Shrine. She's on occasion compared to the Goliath doll, either comparing height or shown in battle. Fan art of her was involved in a particular case. This picture, a parody of a technical difficulties featuring a drunk cameraman, was aired on Keith Olbermann in a similar light as the basis pointing out difficulties in showing something. The picture effectively upstaged the contents of the clip. The clip can be seen here. So it's referring to the technical difficulties, please stand by image of Suika. This one. This popped up on a real broadcast. So, yeah. That's legit. It's kind of funny. In the Chinese community, she's often referred to by the nickname Watermelon, since the pronunciation Shigua is similar to her other Japanese name. Similarly, in Japanese, her name is pronounced identical to the word for watermelon, Suika. So art depicting her with or even as a watermelon exists in the Japanese fandom as well. The joke has even made its way into the English-speaking fandom, despite relying on non-English wordplay. Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, Iku. Disco pose. Due to her spell card declaration pose, many doujin works make fun of her by linking her to disco dancing. This has made some connections to Amakasu Barley Tenji, also the phrase Kiai-kusan in half with kana, and has become a meme related to Iku, which originated from another meme, Kyaru-san, in response to Dragoons in Final Fantasy XI. In addition to both games having elements of fighting, the word Iku sounds nice as a replacement for Ryu, and in addition to the feeling that they're both Saturday Night Fever like idols. Many have thus commented in response to Iku, Kiai Kusan, that originates from the Shift JIS art shown on the right. I don't even know what I'm reading at this point, dude. I have no idea what the fuck I just read. Miscellaneous. Her character may be an homage to Rose, a fortune teller from the Street Fighter video game series. Both heavily rely on premonitions for their occupations and sense an approaching doomsday at hand. Iku and Rose also make extensive use of their shawls in combat by lashing out with extreme range, using drill bit formations around their arms and even reflecting projectiles. She's often presented as the nanny or the personal teacher of Tenchi Hinanai, due to the fact that they know each other before Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, and also because Iku sent people to put Tenchi down. Recently, there's been a trend of fan art and dojins of Iku showing that she's a slob at home. To the full reason of this is unknown, but some believe it's due to trying to make her more interesting, as while one of the more even-tempered characters, she may seem dull to some. Some fandom might compare Iku to Kamen Rider Ixa, due to the fact that Iku-san in Goro Awase is 193, which is also the code to activating Rising Ixa. This eventually led to crossover with Kamen Rider Kiva, where Iku becomes Ixa because 193 can be read as either Ikusa or Ikusan. Okay, I don't really understand half of what I just read in that whole bit with her, but okay. Okay. Tenchi Hinanai. Tenchi, like many other characters, is very popular among the Touhou Project fanbase, with having many illustrations of fan art. She's most associated with heaven-based or occasionally themes of Christianity, and is often treated as an antagonist in various fan games, such as Touhou Mother. She's commonly associated with Peaches, of which she also compared with Watatsuki no Toyohime in Deviated Works. All 5 of them that feature that character. I'm joking, I'm joking! Tenchi's first name can also be read as Tenko, when the fans were speculated about new characters on the Touhou Genso board. Scarlet Weather Rhapsody strategy chat and mispost thread number 21. Before the release of Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, an anonymous poster jokingly uploaded an image that supposedly listed all the names of the characters, including that of an unknown character, Tenko Hiso, in the middle. The name was too obvious, adding to the most common Japanese suffix for girl's name, ko, after the Japanese main title, Hiso Ten. The name was from then on adopted as a tentative name for the final boss because such an obvious name sounded very funny. Surprisingly, it turned out that she has those same characters in her first name, that's Tenko, but a different pronunciation, Tenshi. As a result of this, Tenko, specifically written in hiragana to refer to the usage, has become an extremely famous fan nickname, perhaps even more used than her real name for her. Her actual original name, chat, was Chico, if you didn't know. Her name was Chico, and then she gave herself the name Tenshi. But the character for Ko can be read as she, which is why you call her Tenko. So, I think that's kind of cool. Incidentally, the file name of a JPEG image in one of the blog posts in Twilight Frontier was named Tenko.jpg. In regards to the nickname Tenko, there's a famous internet meme, Tenko Arishiteru, English, Tenko I love you, known in the Japanese community, simply used to express the passion to Tenshi. Also, quite rarely in the Japanese community, she's sometimes called by the nickname Bamayan, a commonly known Chinese restaurant that has a peach in its logo. Bamiyan. Boront-san. Because of the reference of the keyword Uchoten Bahavagra, she often gets connected with Boront-san meme, a popular Final Fantasy XI meme known in the Japanese internet community. Due to the popularity of Boront-san meme in the Touhou fandom, an official reference was even made parodying the meme in one of her spell cards in Hiso Tensoku, Swordplay, the Sword of Swagger. Okay, so for those of you that don't know who Boront-san is, there's basically this RPG Maker game story about like a paladin dark elf who gets transported into Gensokyo and he goes on a journey. And that character is based on some guy from Final Fantasy boards who was known as Boront-san, and he's spoken like very broken and silly Japanese. So much so that translating most of his jokes is kind of impossible. But there's a... yeah, the series is called The Iron of Yin and Yang. I have no idea if the whole thing has been annotated, but the game was never released. It's basically a guy made a game and then played through it. So, yeah, somebody was trying to make a comic out of it, but they stopped at some point. But it's actually kind of neat. I wouldn't say it's one of the lesser known, like, pieces of fan fiction in the series, but it's surprisingly hard to find info on Boront-san. Like, actually, I found the original series on Nico Nico before, but I don't know if there's annotations. Like, I don't know if there's a way to actually... because if there was a way to watch that in English, I would probably do that. Hell, I could make a stream out of it. Like, we can just watch what that whole thing is about with translations. If anybody knows anything about that, feel free to let me know, because that could be pretty fun. Alright, where was I? Characteristics. Due to her apparent eagerness to be beaten up by others in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody story mode with dialogues, lines such as, "Yes, get angry, because if you don't punish me, Gensokyo shall be no more." She's gained a reputation as a masochist. Dorimu. As a result, she often appears along with Yuka Kazumi in some fan works. Also, this combined with her toughness has resulted in Tenchi having high defenses in various fan games. Chest. In many fan work, Tenchi has described Drew as flat-chested, mostly due to the drawing in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody by Alphys, which her breasts were depicted considerably flat even though she looks to be in her mid-teens in the image. This might be due to her sometimes bratty nature. In Labyrinth of Toho, her stats reflect this as well, as she has the highest defenses, which she can buff. She has the least HP. This is the contrast with Komachi, infamously busty, who has the highest HP, but the lowest defenses. The 2011 Tohoku earthquakes. Along with Utsuo, Tenchi had received serious, absurd criticism by some people due to the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, by being associated with the earthquakes and the nuclear incident. However, such criticism ceased shortly, and fortunately their reputation wasn't negatively affected that much. This one interests me because could you imagine that a situation where a fictional character is like harassed for a real-world disaster because in fiction they're related to the things that happen? That's kind of insane. It's a target for venting frustration, for sure, but man, that is... Yeah, I know it was a horrific disaster. That was the specific earthquake the Unknown Flower Mesmerizing Journey was released for. Zun's Music Collection 5.5 is a 3-track album that was released for I think it was I don't remember exactly what it was about, but he did make that album because of this this earthquake. So it didn't have a story or anything. It's just a little middle album. It had one original track, which is a great one, and it had a mix of Yesterday Was Special, or Tomorrow Will Be Special, Yesterday Was Not, which, and then he had a third one that I don't remember. Anyway, miscellaneous. The article for Celestials and Perfect Memento and Strict Sense is to be taken as a guide. Tenchi was a human and is now referred to as a Celestial, per her character profile in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody. In many fanworks, she's depicted as uneasy with Yukari and be hated by her. It's likely due to be rooted with Yukari's dialogue in the last stage, where Yukari was unusually angry at Tenchi for building a shrine. Popular meme among the community features Tenchi eating a corn dog. This is expanded into many jokes about Tenchi's apparent love of corn dogs. Great. Uwabami Breakers. Amakasu Barley Tenji. Yukunagai does some disco poses on her spell cards because of this. Amakasu has been compared to her. There's a little joke that Amakasu may have had too much UV rays. In Twilight Bar's story mode on Toho Unreal Mahjong, Amakasu is shown playing Mahjong with Zun. This has got some fans thinking that he is a good friend with Zun. Hiso Tensoku. Goliath doll. Due to her size, she's compared with... Wow, okay. Just rehashed. Giant catfish. Most Japanese fans call it the Master Big Catfish, Unamazu-sama, as the catfish did it in the dialogue of Meiling's scenario of Toho Hiso Tensoku. Western fans may refer to the catfish as the unnamed giant catfish. The giant catfish has been nicknamed Premius by some Western fans. This is due to some similarities between the catfish and a Mugen joke character named Premius, who's a giant floating Salamon who shoots laser beams. Said Mugen character has since been modified, so he sometimes uses the giant catfish sprite during his introduction to battle. Some people find it funnier because of the fact that he was first created as a prank character called SSB Yukari, question marks intended. Its creator joked that Zun was inspired by Premius to make the giant catfish boss. Okay. Giant catfish has been a recurring joke or theme in the English Toho community since Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, when Rainbow seemingly brought up the subject out of nowhere. No such association between catfish and earthquakes are commonly known outside of Japan. and when Sakuya caught one for the banquet. Sometimes in fan art, the catfish and Taisui Xingjun are depicted as the same entity, which can cause confusion to other fans. Hisotensoku. Many fanworks treat Hisotensoku as an actual giant robot, and he does typical poses and attacks as if he was from a mecha anime series. Presumably because, like Sanai Kochiya, they find it more exciting that way. This has led some new fans to mistake it as such. Amongst the fandom, Hisotensoku's theme music is generally regarded as Our Hisotensoku from the game named for him. Fans speculate that Nitori Kawashiro is one of the kappa involved in the construction of Hisotensoku. Taisui Xingjun. Sometimes in fan art, okay, exactly the same thing written like 3 sentences up. Double spoiler. Hitate Hime Kaido. Fans often joke that Hitate uses Google image search to get all of her pictures instead of going outside like Aya Shimemaru does. Even Zun himself has referred to Hitate's ability as working like Google in his Symposium of Post-Mysticism interview. Hitate's purple clothing and thoughtography abilities seem to all point to Joseph Joestar of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, specifically his Part 3 incarnation where he has to stand Hermit Purple, which can project images of a target into the world onto paper by smashing a camera with it. Aya used to be pictured a lot with Joseph too. Because of the purple color she wears, an artist on Pixiv has created and popularized an emo version of Hitate called Hatatan, who is usually seen with black hair, scars, and bags under her eyes. I am not clicking that because that sounds stupid. There's a rather notable catchphrase that Western fans have created called Hitater's gonna Hitate, a wordplay on haters gonna hate. No one has ever used that in their life. In the Japanese fan base, he's associated with Scallops, Hotate, due to the similarity with her name. Hitate's checkered skirt is identical to the missing texture pattern in Half-Life 2 and other source-based games, which has led to jokes among fans. It has been loosely compared to graphical editors such as Adobe Photoshop, which use the checkered pattern to show the transparency within an image. No. No. Nobody has ever said Hitate's gonna hate outside of 2013. Never. It never happened. No. Shut up. Leave it in the past. Hatata no Kokoro. It's a popular gag in fan art to replace Kokoro's mask with masks from other franchises such as Kamen Rider, particularly Wizard, who frequently talks about Hope, the Stone Mask, or Majora's Mask. Another Western meme occurring is that the masks are also replaced with Rage comic faces. She's sometimes seen with Miko's New Hope mask on, suggesting the artist is unaware of its full effects. Many fanworks play up the role of Toyosate Mima no Miko as Kokoro's father, sometimes with Byakuren Hijiri appointing herself as Kokoro's mother. Kokoro is often depicted alongside Koishi, her arch-enemy, and or Mamizo, who helped her find an identity. Kokoro has been paired with the likes of Satori Komeiji due to similar color palettes and clothing styles, Kaguya Horai-san due to having similar hairstyles, or Okina Madara due to Hataro no Kawakatsu being the former owner of the masks. Fans have noticed similarities with expressionless but attractive characters such as Yuki Nagato or Rei Ayanami. Through the liveliness Kokoro shows, she ends up developing her own charm. Due to the ambiguous situation of her either talking or the masks doing the talking, various artists have either Kokoro herself talking without masks, the masks doing the talking, or both. I've gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen, in particular, an instance where it's like the mask talking. I've always assumed it's her talking, but she can like enunciate the emotion of the mask, sort of, but she's more like a vessel to it. Like, if I don't know. Gold Rush. Because Gold Rush hasn't been released in the public, a Chinese programmer has created an unofficial replica of the game. Apparently, all the information in this remake comes from videos recorded at the Digital Game Expo and player descriptions. So if you didn't know, there's a little mini game that Zen made called Toho Gold Rush. You play as Seiya, you fight Reimu, and you beat her to death with the Miracle Mallet to produce money, and you get a high score. And it was never released to the public, so somebody made their own replica of the game based on information from players, which is what I just read. And yeah, it's just it's interesting because it's not official, but it's based on something that was official. So Seiya was a playable character in this game, but you know, no one ever got to play it. So does it count as her having a playable character role? Does it count as Reimu having one more appearance in games total? Like, does it count? Right? Does it count? It's official, but it was never released. Sumireko Usami. Due to her last name and resemblance, apparent connection to the Secret Sealing Club, and residence in the outside world, there is speculation as to her relationship with Renko Usami. A prevailing theory is that she is Renko's ancestor of some past generation or some other kind of relative. When Julia Chang was revealed as DLC for Tekken 7, many thought she looked like her. This is mostly because of her glasses, short hair, and plaid purple on her jacket, similar to the pattern on Sumireko's outfit. She is sometimes shown to have an interest in pandas, as one of her attacks is her summoning a mechanical panda ride. Fan art often depicts her with an ahugi under her hat, despite not having one in her official art. Sumireko's gloves are seen to be off in most fan works. What? Because of her wanting to take Shin Yomaru Sukuna as a pet, many fan art depicts Shin Yomaru running away from her. Antinomy of common flowers, Shion Yorigami. Shion has often been compared to Fujiwara no Moko due to similarities in appearance. Shion is occasionally shown begging other characters for money, or being shown with Reimu begging for money. Jun. Due to the fact that she is a pestilence god, many fans like to picture her as a boss in Unconnected Marketeers when the demo came out. That's all you have to say about her? Sunken Fossil World gets its own category. The game became quite infamous for its development hell. It was first announced and released during mid-2020 and was delayed all the way until late 2021. Yuma Totetsu. Some fans have compared her to Ganyu from Genshin Impact due to her having similar traits to her design. Red horns, similar hairstyles, and exposed shoulders. Okay. Kirby. Yuma's ability to eat anything and turn it into her own power has led to comparisons to Kirby. This comparison is further supported by the fact that she inhales bullets during her final spell in Flandere's Sea Route. Only a spoonful. Fans have been quick to draw a connection between Yuma and King Bach's popular Only a Spoonful vine, in which King Bach asks a friend for some ice cream and is told he may only have a spoonful, and then proceeds to pull out a comically large spoon. Yuma, much like King Bach in this vine, is shown to be exceptionally gluttonous, substituting ice cream for oil. Additionally, she also possesses unusually large silverware, particularly in the form of a spork, which may quite easily be mistaken with a spoon. This has led to multiple images and editing featuring Yuma in the role of King Bach in his infamous vine. Okay. No crude oil jokes here. Oh, man. That's a copy paste. Music CDs. Now I know what you're thinking. There's barely any characters here, but I want you to understand Maribel is going to have a lot of text. Alright, get up, assholes. You got your long enough break. Get back into it. I want to see you suffer. Suffer like G did. 1. I'm suffering G. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blood in my head. It's going all over. Whoa. Holy car snatch, dude. All right. All right. Unnamed girl on Dip Jacket. She is believed to be a Christian due to what appears to be a cross on her right hand. Cool. In the C62 version of the CD story, there's only one girl in the 8 Honest Men. There's a theory that the girl in this group is the same one on the CD cover. There's other speculation that the girl on the cover is actually Marissa Kirisame or Alice Margachoid. There's also speculation that this girl is Vera Claythorne from Agatha Christie's And There Were None. In the story, the girl hangs herself when she was the last one left of the 8 men, while Vera did exactly the same. She is sometimes called Pirot. She tends to be paired with the unnamed girl on the C62 version CD label, likely due to their appearance on the same CD. Okay. Renko. Sometimes she appears with rabbit ears because her name sounds like Usamimi, rabbit ears in Japanese. Oh, that explains a lot. Sometimes thought of as a counterpart to Reimu, though unlike Maribel and Yukari Yakumo, is not often thought to be linked in any significant way. Because they don't exist in the same world or time as other Toho characters, Renko is most often paired with Maribel either as friends, roommates, or romantically. She, by Maribel's words, tends to arrive late to any of their meetings and becomes a cliche in fan arts. Alright. Maribel Herm. Because they don't exist in the same world or time as other Toho characters, Maribel is often paired with Renko either as friends or romantically. So Renko is paired with Maribel as roommates, but Maribel is not paired with Renko as roommates. Gotcha. Sometimes thought to be a foreigner of some sort. Numerous theories abound as to link with Yukari Yakumo. For instance, Zud acknowledges a relationship between them, although only explicitly mentioning Lafcadio Hearn. Other theories and questions is the nature of Maribel and Yukari as follows. Maribel and Yukari's appearances are very similar to each other, both of the same hair color and in most official portrayals eye color. In addition to this, both are always depicted wearing some combination of purple and red, the opposite colors of the visible spectrum, as well as ribbons tied in the shape of an 8, which is stated to be one of the meanings of Yukari's name. Both also wear a bonnet. Ability. Both Maribel and Yukari have the ability to see boundaries. Unlike Yukari, however, Maribel is only stated to be able to see boundaries, not manipulate them. However, after Maribel told Renko about her dreams involving going to another world and changeability of a strange dream, Renko speculates that Maribel's ability is evolving into the ability to manipulate boundaries, even though such a thing should be impossible. In later stories such as Trojan Green Asteroid and Neo-Traditionalism of Japan, Maribel is outright taking Renko with her to different worlds and bringing things back from them, showing that her ability has advanced far beyond merely being able to see boundaries. Her power has grown so much that Renko couldn't help but think that Maribel was on the same level as those yokai. One of Yukari's most famous uses of her ability was to go to the moon through the reflection of the lake. At the end of Magical Astronomy, Maribel also gets an idea of how to get to the moon while looking at its reflection in the lake, although the story ends there without explicitly saying what it was. Dreams. In Perfect Memento and Strict Sense, it mentions a couple speculations by various denizens against Sokyo. One is that Yukari is a yokai from the outside world and spends her days and winters there, the time she claims to be sleeping. Another is that the outside world is Yukari's dream. It's also stated that Yukari's ability to manipulate boundaries includes the ability to enter dreams. Perfect Memento and Strict Sense doesn't state how valid these speculations are. Maribel herself has visited against Sokyo in her dreams. In these dreams, she appeared to still be Maribel and still be human. As she says, she is constantly attacked by yokai and runs from them in fear, which is the point when she typically wakes up. Time period. Maribel is descended from a lineage which has the ability to sense the supernatural since long ago. She herself exists in a time in the near future where her stories are stated to take place. Yukari, meanwhile, has existed for at least over 1,200 years before and up to the present day, where the Toho Project takes place. It's confirmed that traveling through time is possible in Toho Project. Toyohime mentions that rarely time is one of the things that a human can get spirited away through. In Cage and Lunatic Runegate's 3rd chapter, Maribel appears to have traveled through time on at least one occasion. In Perfect Memento and Strict Sense, there's an entry about a mysterious memo found several hundred years ago, written by a person who believes she's wandering the bamboo forest of the lost while she's dreaming, mentioning such things as a GPS and a cell phone, and even the phrase, "I'm gonna tell Renko about it when I wake up." Going by this, Maribel was apparently herself against Sokyo during at least 2 different times, hundreds of years apart. In Changeability of Strange Dream, Maribel visits the Scarlet Devil Mansion with the Mane, presumably the Scarlet Devil Mansion at one point, and at another point gets lost in the Bamboo Forest, of which the events which she got lost indicates it's the Bamboo Forest of the Lost. The memo in Perfect Memento in strict sense shows that the period in which she got lost was several hundreds of years before the present day, while the Scarlet Devil Mansion is known to have arrived in Gensokyo only recently. Chat, pay attention. Pay attention. Stop spinning, stop zooming, pay the fuck attention. This is important information. It'll be on the test. Yukari's original name. Yukari Yakumo is probably quoted from Ryunosuke Morochika, not Yukari's original name. In Curiosity Lowe's Age of Chapter 28, while analyzing the meaning of Yukari's name, Ryunosuke notes that Yukari is probably the name she chose for herself. Yukari's article in Perfect Memento in strict sense supporting this by mentioning records from 1200 years ago of a yokai that seemed to be Yukari Yakumo. The wording shows these records don't have a yokai's name recorded as Yukari Yakumo. As noted above, Maribel's namesake, Lafcadio Hearn, changed his name to Koizumi Yakumo when he became a Japanese citizen. In Changeability of Strange Dream, Maribel also worries to an unknown degree of seriousness that her real name was forgotten because Renko always calls her Mary. Statements about Gensokyo's reality. Maribel believes that the world in her dreams, Gensokyo, is merely a dream, although it's so realistic that it leads her to panic about whether her dream is true reality or not. Renko, however, believes that it's not a dream and that Maribel has actually visited another world. In the end, after debating on a choice which would lead Maribel to either stay in that world by convincing her it's real, or the real world by convincing her it's just a dream, Renko decides to tell Maribel to make her dream a reality. I don't know if she said that, actually. In Memorizable Gensokyo, Yukari refers to herself as the representative of Gensokyo's reality. I don't know what Memorizable Gensokyo is. I don't know what this is. What is this? Oh, this is the comic version of... This is the comic version of Perfect Memento in strict sense, drawn by Akieda. Okay. Alright. Where was I? The State of Gensokyo. Changeability of Strange Dreams Japanese title translates to the science era of a changing of a bad dream to become true. Wow, that was a mouthful. While the synopsis included the statement, two young female mediums changing future nightmares into sweet dreams, within the storyline where Maribel is trapped in Gensokyo, she comments, "The dream usually ends when I'm being chased by a yokai. It certainly seems like a nightmare, no matter how you see it though. Although, followed by, though if I could change that nightmare to a pleasant dream different from present reality." Yukari doesn't say how she feels about the state of Gensokyo as it is. Certainly there are many events through Gensokyo's history leading up to its current state which might have been involved and caused by her, but most can't be absolutely 100% confirmed. Hideno Akio, however, does comment in the afterword of Perfect Memento in strict sense, "These peaceful yet stimulating times are surely a golden age for humans and yokai alike. There's no doubt that Gensokyo has become the way it is thanks to the isolation brought about by the Great Hakurei Barrier, which was the solution endorsed by the yokai sages, which is confirmed to include Yukari in Subterranean Animism. Yukari's own section also states she was a major supporter of the Great Barrier." God damn. You guys don't even listen when I talk. You know that? You guys just don't listen when I talk. I do so much to educate, and all you do is post glizzy spin, and you put your minds to something else. Were you even listening to me? Do you even know what I just read? Because I don't, and I read it. That's the problem. Alright. Get up, boys. Get up, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Maribel, leave. Maribel, leave. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Go, 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 go. Stop now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Motherfucker. Come on. Curiosities of Lotus Asia. Renosuke Morchika. Corden is also a standard nickname for Renosuke amongst fans. As one of the few depicted humanoid males in a land surrounded by girls, he's a popular option for heterosexual pairings and has been shipped with much of the rest of the cast. Other fanworks persistently depict Renosuke in a few different humorous but somewhat derogatory ways. In the following depictions, he's commonly called Corden in Japanese and sometimes called Manosuke in the Western fan base. As a lecher or a pervert who runs around at a fundoshi and harasses the girls, receiving painful retribution from them for his antics in the end. Some fans have jokingly stated and depicted Renosuke as gay. One reason would be because of the fundoshi barrier Eric uses in Toho soccer. Another common scenario in fan depictions is for various members of the cast who sexually harass Renosuke only to have him react with indifference and or fear. He is just as often, if not more so, seen in fan depictions as extraordinarily masculine or muscular. Ugh. Sometimes, though rarely, possessing power equal to or greater than the rest of the cast. This form of his is one of the most commonly referred to as Manosuke. I wish I had an origin on that one. I really do. Tokiko. She's often shown hanging around Cordendo and fanworks, usually arguing with Renosuke about taking her books back or taking a liking to the store. Ugh. Akyu. A common nickname for Akyu is Akyu! Similar to Yukarin for Yuka, however, the resemblance to the Dokyun of DQN, which means trolling and or being stupid, due to a popular TV game show in Japan, has led many to joke that it is AQN. This may reference Akyu's slight tendency to troll people via her descriptions of them in the Gensokyo Chronicle. An example would be what she writes about Marisa Kirisame at the end of the memorizable Gensokyo comic. I've never actually read that. I should probably read that at some point. There might be some differences in there from what actually is in Perfect Memento itself. But we do know that Akyu does not like fairies. Although it is considered preposterous in academic terms, there's a theory that Hieda no Are, Akyu's ancestor in previous incarnation, was the same person as Fujiwara no Fuhito, Fujiwara no Moko's father. Hence, why some fanworks will pair Akyu with Moko. I read a doujin about with that premise before, actually. I forgot the guy's name, but he draws a lot of Akyu. Akyu is sometimes depicted as with PC-98 only characters due to her album collection Akyu's Untouched Score of the original PC-98 music. She has a tendency of being shown as physically mature for her age, though fan art is moving on to the older rendition as seen in Forbidden Scrollery. In the Yukari fandom, she's often portrayed as being sadistic and obsessed with abusing Yukaris. That's not a fun fact. In early August 2024, many fans joked about the age limit to which Akyu can canonically live, making multiple jokes about Hira no Akyu's funeral. She's dead now. Three Fairies of Light. After the time Fairy Wars was released, Sunny, Milk, Luna Child, and Star Sapphire had started to appear in more fan games as bosses of considerable power difficulty, with New Super Marissa Land being the first genre. Now, you know what's funny about this? Chat, do you know when fucking Eastern Deity of Nature even came out? Like, the original Sengetsusei started in 2005. This shit is so old. But I think most people associate the Three Fairies with Fairy Wars, or like when Makoto Hirasawa takes over for the second book's Oriental Eastern. I can never remember the fucking names for them, dude. It's Oriental something Dreams, either Eastern or Strange. I can't remember. Hey, bro, you alright? You sound like you're dying. I wonder why, jackass. Sunny's name has caused her to become the butt of various breast and or lactation gags. Okay. In the Japanese community, Luna is usually referred to as Luna-cha or Luna, nicknames made by simply abbreviating her full name, It's often a used nickname for it in this regard, read same but written differently. Luna-cha. Cha means tea. Due to the unique shape of Luna's mouth drawn in the comic, a meme of referring to her when she takes the shape by the phrase, "Why you having a chestnut like a mouth? Why you having a chestnut like a mouth? Kuchi mitai na kuri shi gate." It was also insanely famous in the Japanese community, where various fan arts have her mouth shaped like that as a running gag. The origin of this meme is from Futaba. It was born when they were modifying a drawing of Konata Izumi from Lucky Star with a line saying, "Why she has a mouth like an ass?" They're referring to her fucking kitty face, her W mouth. The logical correct version, "Why you having a mouth like a chestnut?" is also used, but less frequently. Luna is sometimes depicted as a klutz, often tripping or falling, especially when she's running. The trait is adapted by various artists, including Hirasaka Makoto and his Doujinshi fan work. Another famous meme of the Japanese community refers to Luna's "Huh? Suck it? Damn you, you suck it." Or the short version, "Suck it, Shaburiro," also born in Futaba. What? Huh? There have been various jokes based on how Star and Kaguya look similar. Despite fan art making Sunny the possibly shapely fairy, a splash page of Eastern and Little Nature deity shows Star in a costume which highlights some curves. A few artists have run with this. So fun fact, this entire section was written by Grazy. Due to having a Hime cut hairstyle similar to Kaguya, Star is portrayed as Kaguya's doppelganger in fan works. Look at this. May 2005. May 2005, chat. Six chapters. From it, 6 chapters in a year. 6 chapters in a year. And then Makoto Hirasawa took over. I assume the reason for the delays was because of Matsukura's health issues prolonging it, and eventually it just became too much. He compiled enough for 1 volume, and then no more could be done. I assume that's how it went down, but that's looking positively at it. All right. Unnamed Baka Tanuki. In Japan, the Baka Tanuki is known as Marissa. The kanji for Tanuki can be read as Ri as well, making the pun. Well, that's cool. Since she transformed to an appearance similar to Marissa Kirisame, although she still had Tanuki ears and a tail. Monster Tanuki is a rather notable name in the Western fan base to refer to this Baka Tanuki. In some fan works, she's seen copying Marissa, or a few others, but sometimes mommies are joining in on the hijinks. You remember when I was playing Shoujo Tale yesterday, chat? There was that Baka Tanuki that I talked to that said it enjoyed the watching the moon with Reimu. It's referring to this particular Baka Tanuki, the one that showed up as Marissa and hung out with Reimu. Bogetsu Show. Watatsuki sisters. Watatsuki no Toyohime and Watatsuki no Yorihime are derisively known as Moon Bitch in the Western fandom. This is mostly due to their seemingly snobbish, holier-than-thou attitude regarding the Earth and its people, and their one-sided battles depicted in Silent Center in blue. Oh, is that why? Is that why? Abilities. Toyohime abilities. According to Eren, Toyohime's good luck is so great that she never had to face any trouble in her life. Manipulating the boundary between scientific and fantastic versions of the moon. Linking the sea and the mountains. While the description of the ability seems rather specific, it supposedly allows Toyohime to go anywhere she liked, with the moon being the sea and Gensokyo the mountain. She was able to send a letter to Eren, throw a stone on the earth, and instantly move herself and race it into Gensokyo. This makes Toyohime, along with Yukari, one of the few characters able to travel freely between the earth and the moon, although Yukari requires lunar phases. Cool, right? Cool. Backstory. Long ago, Toyohime's master, Eren Yakokoro, explained to Toyohime why Spirited Away happened. Everything is decided on probability, and thus possible events will always happen. This is even how the Lunarians came to the moon in the first place. Toyohime instantly understood her master's lesson, and from then on was one of the few people who could connect the moon and the earth. Yorihime, abilities. Can summon gods. Look at all these gods she summoned. Yep. Cast lightning with the power of Honoi Kazuchi to attack Sakuya. Sakuya losed. After defeating Sakuya, Yorihime herself claims to have a myriad of techniques, and that if she were only able to use 1 or 2 per battle, she could win with another 39 million times. Furthermore, when Marisa used Double Spark against her, Yorihime was able to prepare herself and simultaneously summon Ishikiri-dome no Mikoto before any of the 2 lasers reached her. Easily absorbs knowledge. Eren claimed that Yorihime can learn anything in an instant. This ability was displayed when she managed to learn the spell card rules and defeat Sakuya, Marisa, Remilia, and Reimu in succession at a frightening speed. But you know. This is mostly due to them seemingly snobbish, holier-than-thou attitude, and their one-sided battles depict. Yep. Definitely not because they're extremely poorly written characters. No, that couldn't be it. It has to be because Reimu lost. Fuck you. Because of Toyohime's liking of peaches, she is depicted with Tinanai Henshi. Okay. In derivative works. That was an accident. Due to the story involving a journey to the moon, there's speculation that the sisters may make first game appearance in Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, presumably as bosses. The other theories are that the ones behind the incident of purifying the Earth. All this turned out to be false, however. They wouldn't be involved in purifying the Earth at all, because they wouldn't do anything to fuck with Eren. That's the weird part about it. The whole reason the moon does not pursue Eren is because Yorihime and Toyohime are in charge and are actively preventing the moon from taking action. However, when Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom happens, they're not present, and there's not a real attempt, but an attempt to purify Gensokyo to make a secondary lunar capital. So they couldn't have been involved in that process, which means a higher up was probably involved, which would explain Sagume a lot, because Sagume is like an original god. She's a big fucking deal, so she probably has more authority than the Watatsuki sisters. I'd have to assume so, because it seems like she was the one in charge of that decision, and nobody else could overturn that because she's such a big deal. That's just me assuming, though. What other reason could there be? Right? Reisen. She's sometimes referred to as Reisen 2 or Reisen by the English fan base to differentiate her between Reisen Udongi and Inaba. Many fans have drawn Reisen with blue hair from a possible appearance on the color page of Silent Sinner in Blue Chapter 15, depicting an unknown rabbit with short blue hair. Cajun Lunatic Runegate Chapter 6 implies this is her, as Reisen is surprised and her ear is grazed by one of the stars. Artwork of Reisen has shifted to light purple hair, the color revealed in Inaba, the moon, Inaba, the earth, or possibly fans simply using Reisen Udongi Inaba's color scheme. Both blue and purple are however seen in recent artwork. I've never seen Reisen, but I've seen Reisen with an apostrophe. Kassan. Because of the advantages of being a hermit, Kassan is not required to eat that much, suggesting that she could be potentially very thin in return. Fans picked that up, drawing her very skinny to the extent that you could see her ribs under her skin. It is a pun on Rib Kassen, Abara Kassen, though in contrast most arts give her a moderate frame and figure, sometimes more so. You know she has a massive sweet tooth, right? And she eats a bunch of sweets, and they're calling her anorexic. For some reason, Kassan is sometimes portrayed with a sign in her hand, which was featured in Chapter 2 of Wildhorn Hermit. Many fans expected Kassan to appear in 10 Desires. Due to this, there exists a fan-made Phantasm stage featuring her as a boss, with Minamitsu Murasa being the mid-boss. Yeah, there's a really cool fan-made theme, Rumble Temple. I suggest you look it up. And in fact, was originally planned to be 10 Desires extra boss. I need a situation on that, personally, because apparently Zuna stated that there was a chance that that Kasem was the extra boss in 10 Desires, and there was another character as well. There were 2 characters that that were also part with Mamizo that were part of the extra stage discussion, and ultimately he created Mamizo, and we're in the worst timeline, but you know. Since the introduction of Seiga Kaku in 10 Desires, fans have frequently depicted Kassan and her together. Very often on unfriendly terms, she's a proper hermit and Seiga is a wicked one. A few arts go with the scenario that the enmity is usually fierce, as Yoshika Miwako, Seiga's servant, it's actually the poet that Kassan befriended in the past that she poisoned, Suika Kassen. I still haven't watched that. Shiro Sendai. Some fans suspect the 2011 Toroshoku earthquakes and tsunami caused Shiro to come into Gensokyo. What? Okay, I don't know what that is. Who the fuck is Shiro Sendai? Who the fuck are you? Was a real person from Sendai City who brought good fortune to the businesses he visited. After his death, he became known as a god. Oh, it's this chapter. It's this chapter. Okay. I talked about this before, but there's a chapter about this guy where there was somebody who was known to go around, and if this person visited your business, it was good fortune, and it was actually Kasen. So I talked about this chapter before, yeah. Well, there you go. Kozuzu Motori. She's commonly paired with Hirano Akio, longtime friends, or Mamizo Futatsui, a regular customer, often shown fangirling over Mamizo. No, she doesn't. Shut up. Puggies, puggies, puggies. Whoa. He did it! Big clap us for streamer. He did it! Which means he has to get up and do one more set. God damn it. Last set. Last set, last set, last set, last set. Here you go. Okay. Whew. All right. Took it long enough. There you go, chat. There you go. God damn. All right. That took a little over 2 hours. Damn. All right. Well, chat, I hope you enjoyed. Did you learn? Did you learn anything interesting? Did you enjoy? Did you have a good time? Do you despise human beings more or less after this segment of ours? There was some cool trivia. I agree. I think there was some pretty cool trivia in there. Alright. Mioi? She's not there. Mioi and Mizuchi are not there. Because nobody cares. Whew. Well, I enjoyed doing this. I thought it was fun. I hope you enjoyed too, chat. So, stay tuned for the next strange thing that we do involving just reading a wiki. Because I'm sure as hell gonna find something I can read. So, I hope you enjoy it.